Welcome back to Scars on the Playground. DJ Akademiks says NBA YoungBoy now owns 100% of his music for the last 3-4 years. Let's get into the content, fam. Because DJ Akademiks says, right? Drop it in the comments, bro. Let's get into the content.
Yeah, YB reached out to me after that stream. And YB was just like, yo, I love you, man. But yo, you can't let these motherfuckers play with my name when it comes to I own all my shit now. And that's been his thing. Obviously he's been through a plight when it comes to like Atlantic Records, but the record deal that he's in now and any record deal you'll see YoungBoy sign is a lot of ownership for him. He's not doing nothing that don't include ownership. And I think, when 6ix9ine went on his rant, he was almost kind of putting it across like YoungBoy is this guy that just doesn't own none of his shit. And I think the key thing, and YB hit me because me and YB have talked contracts. We've talked, deals and shit like that. The reason why YB's in the place where he's in his career is because he valued ownership over money. Like we've had the conversation where he told me, yo, I've turned down millions, but because I want to own my shit. So I see why he's responding, and I see why he's clearing it up. I'll say unequivocally on the record, especially YB's new deal, and by the way, allegedly might be expiring soon. So let's see who gets the bid on getting YB, because I think he's at the hottest he's ever been now. And so the money got to even go even further up. The latest deal that he signed that's been in existence for the last couple of years, he owns his shit. That's a fact. He was very big on ownership. I know he's a crash out. He's a street nigga. He'll slap you up. He'll shoot at you. He'll do this. He'll do that. But that boy ain't that dumb. And he know that when he was signed to Atlantic Records, he dropped 22 projects and he was only contracted to do like 5 or 6. He dropped 22. So he knows how a label could try to take advantage of you and try to play in a way where their ownership or whatever the case is to try to get the better of a situation or own most of what they think people are going to stream. YoungBoy, after that situation, and I'm telling you this is a fact. I'm not telling you this because this is, and by the way, I probably should have said it then, but, me and him, we had a conversation about it. But, a lot of times, sometimes we have a conversation. I think he often is like, you got to let the people know, like, tell them that. Yeah, he ain't trying to get online and clear everything up to y'all. So him mentioning the song, I was like, oh, shit, I forgot he did tell me that. Yeah. For all them records, especially since he been at Capitol, he owned all this shit. That's a fact. He owned the shit. Obviously, we remember if you've been a YoungBoy fan for a while, you could probably remember some of the early Atlantic stuff where there's some turmoil, but let's be clear. He got the leverage he needed. He got out of the deal with Atlantic, and he'll never, ever be in a deal where he doesn't own the entirety of his music anymore. And the point is, he's owned all this shit. I think it's been like at least 3 or 4 years now. He's owned all this shit. So, that's something where, you would never know. There's no labels putting out fucking PSAs on what contractually it is. But the reason why YoungBoy is in probably one of the best positions now is that he walked away from millions of dollars and he picked ownership. That's a fact. He walked away from millions of dollars to pick ownership. Why? Because he knew that not only does he bank on himself, and Future does this too, to say my best work is ahead of me. He uses the leverage of where he's at to say, you're not going to give me, because the labels will come to you and be like, hey, here's $5 more million. Don't worry about the ownership. Take $5 million up front. You know what you can buy with $5 million? Oh, 5 doesn't work? We'll give you 8. Take $8 million. Come on. You could go balling with that. Go buy some shit. More jewelry, more this. YoungBoy's kind of infinitely rich right now. You know what I mean? YoungBoy was having a conversation with labels that many artists and I think few artists could ever say they're having. When YoungBoy went to the negotiation table with Atlantic, it was not about what you could pay him. It was about ownership. And not only ownership of his future work, because he was going to own that, because he wouldn't do a deal if he was going to own that. It was more about, if I'm going to do a deal with y'all, my past work, y'all got to give it to me. It's not about what you could pay him. Now, record labels, that's not their business model. Their business model is, we'll give you $50 million, but we own it in perpetuity. That means forever. And we'll wait and we'll continue to pimp you and pimp you and pimp you. And that $50 million we gave you, we're going to go make $180 million over the span of 10 years. So 100%, I definitely want to say YoungBoy wants to, and I will, I'm assisting in helping correcting that narrative, or if that's even a narrative. YoungBoy owns all this shit now, and he has for years. He would never do a deal if he didn't own all the shit. And the point is this, he's been offered multiple times millions as opposed to quote unquote IP ownership. And he's so rich at this point, he doesn't care about the millions, he cares about the ownership.
Look, I ain't gonna hold you. Every time it's something to be said about NBA YoungBoy that he's supposed to be saying for himself, it's been coming from Akademiks lately. Look, my nigga, Kentrell, if you want somebody to understand what's going on with you, you got to talk for yourself, man. And they got to hear from the horse's mouth. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. This newfound friendship with Akademiks that he tell all your business and let him tell him this. Tell him this. Like, bro, if something is true, it should come from your motherfucking mouth, man. It's just being honest, just being real, bro. And this ain't the best, Kentrell, but goddamn, fam, this newfound mystique that you have, bro, you got to do the same thing to keep your fans that you did to get him. And that's due to a whole lot of talking. Yeah, a whole lot of talking. Yeah, throw yourself out there, bro. Yeah, throw yourself out there and see if they like you for who you really are. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. He owns himself. Look, what 6ix9ine was trying to say, bro, all that music that came out within a certain time period, a time span, he don't own anymore. All the music, the songs that made him into a superstar, it's not under his control. Yeah, of course he's gonna record more and bet on himself and try to see if he could top the shit he did, but that's just not how it goes in the industry, bro. In hip-hop, movies, whatever, bro. When you get the one big one, when you're lucky enough to get that one big one, you potentially will never get no more, no mas. You know what I mean? Now, YB has had a lot of great ones, but unfortunately, they're not for him anymore. You know what I mean? Look, bro, once you get through paying security to keep Dirk off your ass, paying the entourage that ain't really doing shit, just around in case something happens, the rent for the houses, the clothes, the food, you ain't left with much of nothing. Like $100 million when you're living like the Joneses don't stretch as far as people may think, bro. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. It's way too many people hands in the cookie jar. On top of that, bro, when you're signed to a record label, you signed your shit in blood. You know what I mean? Meaning, you don't own you no more. It don't matter how much you think you actually have control of. You don't own you anymore. You're owned by whatever label, I like to call them institutions, whatever institution that hires you, bro, they own your ass. You know what I mean? You're in deficit until you make that money back. You know what I mean? Now, mixtape tracks don't make no money. And the label owns your YouTube, that's theirs. You know what I mean? You get what you get off of your shows, but it's still so many people hands in the cookie jar. Look, bro, Shout out Akademiks. He's just relaying messages, but a nigga don't want to hear what YB say through Akademiks. Like, at least we're getting information. Nigga, if it's something to be said, you must say it, ho ass nigga. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, fam. And I like YB. I like him. So people gonna think like, oh, he must not like him. My man, I fuck with Control. I've been fucking with YB for quite some time, fam. My people got roots in Louisiana. You know what I mean? Real shit. And why wouldn't I fuck with him? I like him. But right now, YB under Birdman's direction, mentorship program, whatever they want to call it, no bueno. No bueno. Anything that fucks with Birdman, I ain't rocking with. I'm just being honest with you, fool. Like, yeah, anything that fucks with Birdman, after Kissing Turk, BG, Wayne, who else? Rollo, the list goes on, man. I potentially may have even kissed Young Thug. You gotta remember, before prison, that nigga was in the colony, everybody paid. You know what I mean? That nigga Birdman been allegedly turning them out for years. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments, bro. But shout out Birdman. You know what I mean? I could say that and say shout out Birdman because I separate the main from the wins. Let's just say that, bro. Drop it in the comments. Scores from the playground. Like, share, subscribe. But look, we going up. We never stopping because we're popping. Hype my shit up, fam. Shout out the niggas that I'm talking about on this video, because at this point, I kind of forgot. Yeah, I'm just being honest, man. Akademiks, YoungBoy, and owning the masters and all that, man. Come on, man. Who gives a fuck? Nigga, you sold what you sold. You do what you do. But if you want to tell the truth, it has to come from you. Point blank, period. And no, this video isn't AI. A lot of people been saying, bro, that's AI. It's voiceovers. How, nigga? Over 6,000 videos? You stupid motherfucker think it's AI. It's artificial. And artificial intelligence. Now, artificial insemination? What are you talking about, bitch? Drop it in the comments. Scores from the playground. Like, share, subscribe. Can't stay long. Got to go. Miss Hope. Peace.
I ain't worried about no ops, nigga. That's what this stick for. That body's right on my block. We get you hit up. You 4K trade, we kill for you. She still ain't doing shit for her. Got 4 little boys, I live for them. Grandma, I live for her. Northside 3-8, that's 4K trade, leave 5 start on triple walk. I got a speech problem. Northside 3-8, that's 4K trade, leave 5 start on triple walk. I'm a demon, baby. With them sticks go crazy, just like chopper ball. I ain't playing crazy. I got too much money and too many cars. I can't rake the front on more too many bars. Yeah. Can't go outside just like them other bars. Put that 30 on your ass and who else in the car. Cause by this fuck society, we the murder.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.